I'm sure you could probably.
You just won't be able to have a tripod.
AKA Costin on Instagram. I'm an 18-year-old photographer from Garfield, New Jersey. So my name on Instagram, @Costin, it doesn't really have a specific meaning. One night I was just coming up with random words and I felt like that word stuck with me. It has nothing to do with the professional skateboarder, Eric Costin. So freshman year, leading on to sophomore year, like the end of freshman year, a friend of mine gave me an iPod Touch, really cracked iPod Touch. I started taking pictures on the iPod Touch around my town in Garfield, New Jersey, and eventually downloaded Instagram. I saw how there's a whole community on Instagram shooting photos and stuff, and I really got into it. So eventually I led on to buying an iPhone. I was into that iPhone photography scene for about like a year. Then eventually got a full frame camera. Basically, my style of photography in my eyes is the gritty side of New York. I love capturing New York in a gritty way. My inspirations that led to that style were always being into graffiti, being into skateboarding, BMXing, that whole art side of like, you know, rebel kids. I like to show New York in the most dirty, gritty way possible. What I would want you to take out of my work is to understand that the way majority of people show cities like this, like you got your bridges, the taxis, the average New York, I want my pictures to give you the other side of all that, the sides that people don't want to show, the sides New York doesn't want to show, the gritty side. Why I try to get away from cliche photography is because I want to stand out. I want you to look at my photographs and be like, oh, that's a Costin photo. That's not a cliche photo you see from everybody else. Basically a shot like this, since the clouds over here aren't as separate as they are over there, they're more congested over here. I put my exposure longer so the clouds could move a little bit more and the shot could look a little more cleaner, because if you do it a quick shot, the sky would be too dark. So for here right now, I'd probably, I'm shooting 20 seconds. My aperture is at f8 and my ISO is at 100. My long exposures really all depend on how the clouds are and how dark or light the sky is. So the gear I use on a daily basis is a Canon 5D Mark II with a Rokinon 14mm lens. That's my usual setup because I love to capture the wide angle of the side of New York. I do use a Sigma 35 art series a lot from my friend. What I would love to use is eventually go on to Leica, because I feel like that's the richest photos. So if you want to be a photographer today, like I said, you need to stand out. You need to show different perspectives on things, show different stories on things. Don't be like everybody else, because you won't succeed as a photographer today because there's so much competition out there. You need to be above that competition. What makes me different from other people is, yeah, gear is cheaper nowadays than it used to be, but I'm a senior in high school. I don't make that much money. I am starting to make a living. I've never owned one L lens. I use a Canon 5D Mark II, not the Mark III. So you can have all the gear in the world, but you have to know how to shoot photographs. My favorite photo that I've ever taken was, I went to Philadelphia. I road trip there with a few friends, and we went to an abandoned power plant. Two of my friends started climbing the 2 water towers there. The whole place is completely abandoned, and I got a shot of them with the sun flare coming in, with Philadelphia in the background, and both of them climbing up. And I thought that was just my best photo. It captured like the best moment, the best story, and it was overall a fun day. So that's definitely my favorite photo. So if I started day one today, back a few years ago, if this was the first day I started photography, the tips I would give to myself is, don't worry about what anybody is doing, because that'll stop you from doing what you want to do. Think about what you could do better. Focus on yourself, focus on your own style, and you'll succeed quicker than you think you would. What I would love to be when I grow up, I'm 18 now, what I would love to see myself doing in a few years as an adult would have to be an overall good artist at everything. Drawing, graphic design, photography, videography, everything. I would love to make a living off being anything an artist can do.